soon. So we were talking about my Be Creative sampler, and my class is this Saturday in Richmond, Virginia, and I have one sampler kit left. All right, it can even be mailed to you if you're an online customer. And then I'm going to show you the cards. So this is one of the cards. And here's another card. I have put them in clear envelopes, so that's why they're kind of shiny. This is another card. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for coming back. Hey, Trisha. Welcome. So there's a card. Here's another card with this beautiful scripture. And the sixth card is right here. This is kind of one of my favorites, the Queen Bee. So I have a sampler kit available for sale. And I have a card kit available for sale. The last two left. The kits are cut. If you purchase the sampler for $32.50, you can add these cards for $12.50, okay? So one kit left. If you're a demonstrator and you would like to have the online tutorial, it's just about ready to go out, and it's $15. So ladies, just message me if you're interested in the kits or the online class, okay? All right, and let's see. Oh, a few more announcements. The next one is next Tuesday, March 3rd. We have new product coming out, and this is the new Sale-A-Bration brochure. It's right here, and if you're one of my club members, I've already put one. I've put a brochure in your with your order inside the bag, okay? Let me show you some of the product. First of all, the Flowering Folds designer paper. It looks like this. This is copper foil in the paper. And on this sheet of paper, it's copper and silver. On this sheet, love this. Again, copper and silver. Okay, hard to see with the fluorescent lighting. And this is just silver, okay? So with a $50 purchase, this can be one of your free selections, all right? And then if you turn the page, let's turn a few more pages. There's the So Very Vellum. Hi, Lee, welcome. Hi, Jody, you're not late at all. So here's the So Very Vellum. This is coming out. And you've got this beautiful, I don't even know, let's see what they call it. They call it Purple Posy. So this is Purple Posy Vellum. And then we have soft seafoam vellum. And then we have Pool Party. So let me find Pool Party. Here we go. There's Pool Party vellum. All right, so this is a product that's coming out. It is free with a $50 purchase. This will start Tuesday, March 3rd. And now I'm going to show you a couple of stamp sets. The Tags in Bloom. This is going to be, let's see what kind of a purchase we need with the Tags in Bloom stamp set. I just have to find it here. This is free with a $100 purchase, and it does coordinate with one of the new punches in the mini catalog, okay? It's called Tags in Bloom, all right? And then the other stamp set, which I, of course, could not resist because it does coordinate with the Cup of Christmas dies, okay, that were in the holiday book. It's called Rise and Shine, and this is what it looks like up close, okay? So that's also coming next week, and this is free with a $100 purchase, all right? So Lee's asking, what can we do with the vellum? The vellum is very much like a sheet of designer paper. It's great for layering with designer paper or using it as a card-based layer on a card. So we'll definitely dive into that probably next week. There is another stamp set, a masculine one that's coming next Tuesday, and it's called Well Dressed, and it's free with a $50 purchase. And then we have all the other offerings. Now, just a quick update. The metallic Baker's Twine combo pack is sold out. Now remember, all these products are available while supplies last. So this is sold out for the season. And then the kerchief card kit right here, sold out as of yesterday. This was a really popular card kit. It's gone, okay? Everything else is still available. I did check on that before coming on tonight, okay? All right, so now we're ready to start with our project. And again, we're using the lovely lily pad stamp set. And this is a reversible stamp set where, you know, we're going to use the stamp on one side, then flip it over and use it on the other side. And tonight, I'm going to show you how to do that, okay? So you'll see that on the opposite side of this lily is the solid image. On the opposite side of this lily pad is the solid lily pad. This is a solid leaf and the outline of the leaf. And again, it's for every single image in here. Okay, so let me know if you have questions about that, but I think with the reversible stamp set, I'm going to be able to share those things with you tonight so you'll understand what it means. Stampin' Up! Is trying to get a patent because this is something that they've created, and it's called reversibles. So I think that's pretty cool that our crafting company has come up with a new type of photopolymer stamp, okay? Let me show you the dies. They are right here, and yes, they cut out all of these shapes right here, except the water there. And then you get this beautiful border, and you're gonna get a up close and personal look at that tonight. Really cool border, love it just for that. And then of course, let me show you the paper. And I will have this designer paper swatch on my blog this Friday, okay? But these are all the papers that are included. This is the front and the back side, the front and the back side, all right? And so there are 12 sheets total, okay? All right, and then look at all of these colors that this paper coordinates with. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, and I love them all, and they're very fun to mix and match. All right, now we're going to review what we did last Wednesday night, and if you're new tonight, go back and watch last Wednesday night's video. If you recall, we took the stamped images, and let's see, I believe this is Gorgeous Grape ink. And it's stamped onto Highland Heather cardstock. And so last week we talked about stamping these images on colored paper. Okay, so that's one of them. All right. Okay, the color swatches did not show up for me, at least not on my computer. Do you mean right now, Lee? Are you looking at the color swatches now? Is that what you mean? All right, because on Friday when you go to my blog under the video, it'll just be the sheet of paper. It's just a white piece of paper, and the only thing that's going to be on it is the description information. That's all you will have at the bottom. And then you can cut out your paper and your cardstock colors to go with it. All right, let's look at the second one. This was Purple Posy cardstock, and I believe we used Highland Heather ink for that. And this is, I want to say, Lovely Lipstick cardstock, and then we inked it in Melon Mambo. It could be the opposite, all right. And then this lily, it's Crushed Curry cardstock with Crushed Curry ink, okay? So that's what we did last week. And so this week, I'm actually going to share some other ideas on how to use these lilies, okay? So, you know, in the stamp set, let me get the stamp set again. I want to show you one more thing. You have 3 lilies, okay? A large one, a medium size, and a small bud, all right? So what I'm doing with the large lily tonight is what you would do with all 3 of these. So hopefully that makes sense, okay? I'm just going to showcase the larger one. All right, so if you look at this lily, I actually created this one just by stamping, all right? And I'm going to show you now how to do that. I'm so glad you all like it. I'll tell you about the colors and measurements in just a bit, okay? All right, so I am stamping on a folding table tonight, okay? Usually when I stamp in my stamp room, I'm stamping on a countertop. It's not wood, but it's hard. And with photopolymer stamps, you know, they're not created with rubber, so they don't have any cushioning, okay? So this mat is my cushion tonight, all right? And please keep in mind that I'm stamping on a folding table, which my flowers may look totally different, okay? We will see how they end up looking. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the Whisper White, and this is the card that we're working on now. And we'll create 3 cards this evening, and I will be giving away all 3. So be sure to comment, ask questions, and be sure to share so that your name's in the drawing more than once. Thank you, Sonia. I'm glad you like the cards. Thank you. All right, so let's get some Bermuda Bay out. And it's right here. And I'll put my ink over here on this side. Okay, so this is a reversible photopolymer stamp. This side is smooth, and this side has the outline of the flowers, okay? So I'm actually going to start on the smooth side. And I'm going to ink up my stamp, and it looks like I have a lot of ink on that solid image, and I kind of want to lighten that up. So I'm going to stamp off. So see, I really did have a lot of ink there. So I'm stamping off, and then I'm going to stamp, all right? Now, that doesn't look like much, does it? But it's actually the outline or the solid image of the lily. So now I'll bring in my simple chamois, and I'm going to clean this stamp as I shake the table and shake the camera. All right, so I've cleaned that. So now I'm going to flip this back over, and now I have the outline, okay? Thanks for sharing, Margaret. And so now I'm going to ink the outline, and I want all of you to know that this is not exact, okay? Remember, the lily pad stamp set and dies and paper were inspired. The inspiration came from Monet, okay? And so when Monet painted, he certainly didn't color within the lines, okay? So you have to keep that in mind. I'm just trying to decide how I want to stamp this. I'm going to keep turning it around here just to see. And this is probably what you would end up doing too. All right. All right. Okay. All right. So I am going to position it right here. All right. And now I have my lily. And this part is not shaded in, but that's okay. All right. So when you put the die on it, and let me grab the die. The nice thing about the die is it's going to frame everything in here. And I think the die goes about right there. okay? And so that's how it would end up once you cut it. So I'm going to move this aside. I'm going to cover up this Bermuda Bay ink before I get it all over my sleeve. All right. And then I'm going to bring in my card. And you know me, I've already taken the time to cut one. Now let's look at this one. This is the one that I created earlier today. And I've already cut it out. And then here is the one that I just stamped this evening. So you'll see that it's not completely filled in, and that's okay, all right? So just remember that when you're creating with this stamp set. I know sometimes some of us, we want it to be exact. We want everything to fit within the outline. And with this lily pad set, it was not created. That was not the intention, okay? All right, so I'm using some of the Lily Impressions designer paper. And I'm using Coastal Cabana right here. And let me give you some measurements. The Coastal Cabana is 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, okay? And so the designer paper inside is 3 1/2 inches by 4 3/4 inches. All right, so you've got about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. I like to pop this piece up, and so we're going to do that now. And these cards, once everything is cut and stamped, it comes together very easily. All right, so if anyone has questions, this is a good time to ask them. I am going to use a Bermuda Bay card base. Don't you love how we can mix and match these colors? They just all go so beautifully with the paper. So I'm going to center this right along here, and look at this border. And it came from this border right here. And this is Granny Apple Green. Isn't this beautiful? I love the border. If for no other reason, I just love the border. So I am going to use a little Tombow on this. And I'm going to put Tombow right there and right there. So as you can see, I'm not putting it on the ends because that is going to hang over the layers. And now I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to position it about right here. And hopefully I have it straight. All right. And what's nice about this measurement is the points kind of land on that Coastal Cabana layer. Okay. All right. So it takes just a few minutes for it to lay down. In the meantime, we're going to put some dimensionals on the lily. I almost put it on my grid paper. All right. And then I'll peel this off. Thanks for sharing, ladies. So how many of you like the lily pad set? Just like the whole collection. Isn't it awesome? All right, now I am looking for a little strip so we can stamp hello on here, and I'm going to use Lovely Lipstick to do it, okay? Now the hello is coming from the Honey Bee stamp set, all right? All righty. And I'm just stamping that. I'm going to cover up the Lovely Lipstick so it's not in my sleeve. And you know me, I love to use this little banner punch. It's from a few years ago during Sale-A-Bration. There we go. And I'm going to make another little banner. I know, I love the colors, Margaret. They are awesome. And I love how you can mix and match them. All right, now we're going to pop these words up, okay? All right. So who out there already has the lovely Lily stamp set or paper, and have you done anything with it yet? I'm so glad I decided to, oh, you know something I wanted to do? Let's put some shimmer on this. I did not do that on the original, so let's do that. All right. And I don't know that I'm going to do every petal. I'm going to do the outline. As you can see, my Wink of Stella kind of spilled out on me, but that's okay. All right. So this is the stamped version of the lovely Lily. All right. And yeah, I got a glob there. I'm not too happy with the glob, so I may not send that one in the mail. But one thing I am going to do is I'm going to put the hello on here, and maybe I can cover up a little bit of that glob. All right, and I'm going to zoom in so you can get a better look at this card. I think it would have been prettier if I left the shimmer off this one. All right, but that's our first card, and that's just stamping. All right. Oh, good. Chris has both. Sonia's got them. Very good. All right. So let's look at our next card. And this one's really fun because we're coloring with the Stampin Blends. Okay. All right. So with the Stampin Blends, you do want to use black memento ink. Okay. And I'm wondering, you know, I've been using the black memento all day, and I think I put it away. I believe I did. But what you're going to do is you're going to stamp it, okay? You're going to stamp it in black memento ink, and you're only stamping the outline, all right? So I won't stamp it because my black memento ink is not over here. Now, I'm going to use light Highland Heather and dark Highland Heather to color the lily. Now, I made this card a few days ago. I think I used Highland Heather, okay? I'm pretty sure that's what I used. Let's hope that's what I used. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the light. I always like to start with the light because I can always add more color. Yeah, this is the one I used the other day. All right. Okay, and I do like to color the outline, and then I can kind of fill it in. All right. And I'm going kind of fast. If I was just, you know, in my studio by myself doing this, I would probably take a little more time. But you all will get the idea. All right, Mary Kay's got both. Chris has both. Awesome. I should have told you all to bring it tonight to class. Have it all ready to go. All right. And I'm coloring in this one. Again, I'm going pretty fast, but you know what? Even going really fast, the blends make it look amazing. They are awesome. All right, we're gonna do a little shading when I'm done with this. That's why I wanna color the entire thing. All right, we are almost there. Next week on Facebook Live, we are gonna take a look at all the new releases that get released next Tuesday, March 3rd. All right, so we'll be looking at some of those and we'll be creating with those. So I'm looking forward to that. I really haven't had a chance to look at any of the new stuff that's being released because I've been busy cutting for class. All right, now I'm going to take the dark Stampin' Blend. And do you see these lines here that are in the petals? I'm going to outline these lines. You know, Stampin' Up has done all the work for us because those lines, Stampin' Up is showing us that's where the shading is in the image. So if you just kind of follow that, you'll be able to color just fine. All right, and you know what? If it's too dark for you, you can always go back and blend. All right, again, I'm going pretty fast here. All right. Okay, almost there. All right, so we've done that. And what I may do is go take my light blend. I'm gonna go back and I'm just gonna shade in some of them. Okay, maybe something like that. Maybe I'll do this one because it's on the outer edge. Maybe I'll do this one here. All right, and again, just shading in a few of these, okay? And so that's how you want to color your lilies, or that's one idea for coloring your lilies with the Stampin' Blends, okay? All right, so we'll go ahead and put dimensionals behind this because you know we're going to pop it up. All right. All right, and I'll bring the materials over here and I'll tell you the colors. I'll zoom out a bit. Oh, hi Irma, welcome back. We had some technical difficulty anyway, and I signed off and then came back on. So we're just happy to have you with us. All right, so here's another piece of this Lily Impressions paper. All right, we're just gonna add that snail, and we're gonna add it to the Bermuda Bay layer. And we're going to center it. So it's about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And then we're gonna pop this up. I love popping up the layers on the card base. I think it's really looks good. In person anyway. It may be hard for you to tell in the video. All right. All right, I think I've gotten all that peeled off. And now this is the gorgeous grape card base. And I'm just gonna pop this on here and center it just like that. And then I'm gonna use Coastal Cabana, all right? And again, we'll just use Tombow. And I'm going to put it on just the inner two, I guess the second one on each end, all right? And then I'm gonna flip it over and we're going to adhere it, all right? Just like that. There's really no need to put it behind every single piece. Then we're gonna add our lily. And I think this one looks really pretty with the wink of Stella. So we'll do that again. And this time, ladies, I just wanna make sure that my wink of Stella is not too drippy. Oh, good, it's better now. All right. So now we're gonna color this in. I could do the entire petal. I could do just the lines if I want. It's really, you know, up to me. So it's up to your discretion on how you want to glitterize your lily. And you don't have to do it at all if you don't want to. Okay. Oh, good, Laura. I'm glad you're still liking the bundle. And yes, Debbie, nice to have you with us tonight. And I love the blends because you know what? I'm not that great at coloring. But when I use the blends, I feel like I know what I'm doing, or it looks like I know what I'm doing, right? Whether I am or not. All right, so as you can see, I've used Wink of Stella, all right, on all those little lines. And it may be hard for you in the lighting, so let me bring it up to the camera a little bit, and hopefully you'll see some shimmer. All right, but I think this one with the Stampin' Blends looks really pretty. All right, and we are gonna stamp hello. I am gonna use Bermuda Bay. All right, and let me clean the stamp. I've got my simple chamois over here on the edge. All right, and that's crooked. So guess what? We'll stamp another one. All right. And hopefully you can see me stamp. Okay, that is much better. All right. And the hello is from Honeybee. I think I told you that. The Honeybee stamp set. All right. And then I'm just putting this little fishtail in here. Okay. And now we'll pop this one up. So as you can see, these cards are created the very same way. My goal for tonight was just to show you the different ways, different ideas on how to stamp and color the lily. Okay. All right. So here is the second card right here. Okay. What pretty paper. Isn't it pretty? I love this piece. And I love how I've combined, you know, Gorgeous Gray, Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana, all these wonderful colors that are just coming together. All right, now we're ready for our third one. And this might be my favorite, although I really like the blends. I embossed this lily with gold embossing powder. All right, so that's what we're going to work on next. I'm just going to take a sip of water. Okay. Now, to create this flower, there's some black ink on that piece. I have brought in a piece of shimmery white cardstock. And you probably cannot see the shimmer on this. But it's great to do with watercolor, or you can use watercolor paper. But if you don't want to use watercolor paper, this is another option, and it's called shimmery white, okay? And I'm actually going to do the embossing here tonight, so you're going to hear the heat tool and all that good stuff, okay? So let's go ahead and make sure that our stamp is on the outline, which it is. We're just going to be stamping the outline of this, all right? Now, the other thing I need to do is I need to bring in my tools, and I did have to set those on the counter. So give me just a second to pick those up. All right, so I've got the embossing buddy. I'm going to use this. That helps with static cling. And then I'm actually using my Golden Glitz Delicata ink pad. This was in the 2019 holiday catalog, and if you were lucky enough to get one, so anyway, I'm going to use that. If you don't have this, use Versamark. Versamark and gold embossing powder will work great together, okay? But you do get a little bit of a different look using the gold. It's a little bit shinier. So thank you, Sonia. I'm glad you like the way that I combine the colors. Sometimes I have a hard time with colors. Like if I start bringing in more than two, you know, it kind of gets away from me. So thank you very much. All right, well, here we go. Again, using the embossing buddy. This is in our annual catalog. And the Delicata's retired, so use Versamark. And here is my lily stamp. And since the pad is a bit smaller than the block, I'm going to turn this upside down. All right. And actually, this gold ink, I probably should have re-inked this pad tonight, but it's going to work for our purposes, okay? I'll make sure I get enough ink on there. Okay, so start with that. Move that out of the way. All right. And I'm going to bring in the pad. I've got my shimmery white. And then I'm just going to stamp the flower. And remember, I'm on a folding table and I don't have a whole lot of cushion. So that actually looks pretty good. So now I'm going to bring in my gold embossing powder, and I'm just going to cover this up, okay? I've just covered up the image in gold powder, and now I'm going to shake it off, okay? And so that's what I have now. And this is where I'm going to bring in my heat tool, okay? And it's going to be a little noisy for a few minutes, but hopefully you'll see the magic. I'll hold it up here just a bit. The heating tool is cold, and so it's going to take a few extra minutes just to get this to start cooking. That's what I'll call it. I should have brought a clothespin over here because I'm kind of burning my thumb here. Oh, there we go. I'm going to move it so that maybe you can see what's happening. The first time that I embossed, I just felt like I could do anything. It was just absolutely magic. I'd always wanted to know how to do it, and once I did it myself, I just couldn't believe it. I'm just turning this around so I don't burn my fingers, and I should have had a clothespin here. All right. And so, yeah, it's all done. All right, just like that. And that didn't take very long. And there's our gold embossed lily right there. So our shimmery white cardstock is in the annual catalog, and it's a few pages after our color collection. Shimmery white, it's got a little bit of a shimmer to the white cardstock, okay? And it's fairly lightweight. It's actually probably the same weight as our regular Whisper White cardstock. So you get that shimmer, and the other nice thing about it is you can watercolor on it, okay? Whereas you probably don't want to watercolor on our regular Whisper White cardstock, all right? Okay, so I'm zooming in because we're going to do some watercolor, okay? And I ended up choosing Bermuda Bay, so that's what we'll go with. And let's see, I'm actually using one of my older pads, and I've already taken the time to put a drop of my Bermuda Bay ink in the top of the lid. All right. Okay. All right. And I'm just going to check. I used this earlier. So, and by the way, this is how you clean your Aqua painter. All right, just by rubbing it on the side, not the tip because you'll break it, but along the side to get that ink out of there. All right. So this is an Aqua painter. And when you purchase these, there are 2 in the package, and they're in the annual book. All right. And then you unscrew the top and you pour in tap water. And then you just screw this back on. And then you just want to, you know, drop a dot of ink in the inkwell. And you're just coloring. This is watercolor. Now, when you watercolor an embossed image, the water stays right in this area, okay? Let me zoom in so you all can get a better look. All right, so I'm just picking up the ink from the lid, okay? And I am just filling in this outline. And you can go pretty fast if you want. All right, and remember, always start out light. You can always add more color, okay? But you can't take away color. So you want to be real careful with your watercolor. You want to just start out kind of light and not pick up very much ink off the lid. Because in a few minutes, we are going to go back and we're going to add some more color. Ooh, I really did it that time, didn't I? All right, so we'll leave that petal. That one's a little darker. It's kind of pretty. All right, and I'm going to just kind of do that and let the water just kind of sit there. All right. And see, if we were coloring with Whisper White cardstock right now, the paper would start to pick up. It would get soggy, okay? And so that's why if you don't want to use watercolor paper, you can use the shimmer, the shimmery white. All right. And then you know, let it dry. And then in a few minutes, if you want to add more color, you can. All right. So I decided to add a little more there. All right. And I'm going to go down here and add a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to let that dry. Now, isn't that pretty? Not because I colored it by any means. I'm not the best person to color, but it's really pretty with the gold. All right, so I'm cleaning my brush. And to clean my brush, I'm just kind of squeezing some of that water on there and getting that ink off of the brush tip, okay? And when you're done with this, you can always take a paper towel, wipe this out, or you can leave it, okay? I always use my older pads for the watercolor, but you don't have to. You can use whatever pad it is that you have. When you're done with the aqua painter, you always want to pour out the water and let it dry, okay? You don't want to store water in the aqua painter. It's not good for the brush, okay? So just remember to empty that out when you're done. All right, so that's our lily. And you know what? I gotta find my, okay, there's my original. We're actually gonna color another one. You know why? Because I didn't pre-cut and color one. So we're gonna color this one, all right? Let's go back to our Bermuda Bay and you get to watch again. Sorry about that. That can be good and bad. I guarantee you this water lily will end up looking different than the other one. All right, now here I've picked up a lot of ink. All right, so here we go. All right, just picking up a little more color there. And we can compare it to the other one, and I'm gonna zoom in for you to see better, all right? Now, I want you to think about this. Which one do you think you like better? Do you like the stamped image? That was the very first card that we did tonight. Do you like the Stampin Blends? That's the second card we did tonight. Or do you like the watercolor, which is the one we're working on right now? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Also, another great embossing powder to use with the lily is Whisper White. So you could ink your Stampin' Versamark, pour white embossing powder, heat it, okay, and then watercolor. And that would be beautiful as well. So that is another option. All right. Ooh, you know what? I think I like the second one better. All right. So that's the first one. And this is the second one. All right. And this one's a little bit deeper in color. And you know what? I like it better. So, you know, you may even find, practice, color a few. Color a few. So Linda likes watercolor. And Mary Kay likes them all. All right, that's awesome. Sonia likes the embossing and watercoloring. And I don't even think I'm that good at watercoloring, y'all, but this lily turned out pretty well. So I'm very happy about that. All right, well, let's put this little guy together. And I'm gonna zoom out. And this is a great time for sharing, great time for leaving a comment before I close out, so that you can be in the drawing. Look at this piece of designer paper. How beautiful is that? And that's the back of it. All right, so let's get some snail on here. And remember, with my Be Creative sampler, I've got one kit available. I've got one card kit available. And everything is pre-cut and ready. And the tutorial is also available. I am putting the finishing touches on it now. And so it should be ready in another day or so. So it's actually going out early because the tutorial originally was supposed to go out on March 6th. So for those of you who have already purchased my tutorial, it'll be coming to you in another day or so, okay? Lots of pictures in it, lots of videos, lots of files. Gosh, everything. It's got tons. And if you signed up for the class or purchased the kit, then you also get lifetime access to the videos, okay? All right, so we're gonna center this. The designer paper is on Bermuda Bay, and then it's on a lovely lipstick card base, all right? Linda loves the lily paper. Margaret likes the Stampin Blends, very good. All right, so now we're going to use, this is Highland Heather. Don't you love this little border? I love the border. All right, and I'm just dropping some Tombow on here, okay? Just in two little places. I am going to bring this over here and set it down and hold that just a few minutes. I don't think I did that on the other ones. It will dry clear for you, so don't worry about that too much. Oh man, I am loving this lily. This is the third one that I've watercolored, and it's my favorite so far. So practice makes perfect, right? Just take some practicing. Okay, so now I'm just going to peel off the dimensionals. My lily is actually a little wet, but this will be okay. I'll be mailing these out tomorrow, ladies, so I hope you'll be one of the winners. I'm going to have 3 winners, okay? All right, let's get a hello on here. All right, and I guess we'll do lovely. You know what? I'm gonna go rogue here. Gorgeous grape. How about that? Let's go with something else. And I need to find my stamp. Here it is. All right, I'm gonna bring that in. All right, and how does that look? Oh, it looks pretty good. Okay, now for those of you who don't have that little banner punch that I like to use every week, I am going to make a little banner here for you. All right. Just kind of snag that out of there. Okay. And I'm going to do the same to the other side. Okay, so I'm just snipping in the middle. All right. Right along here. Okay. All right, and then we'll add some dimensionals here. I'll just put one there. All right, you can find all of these supplies in my online store tonight. And when you spend $35 in product, you will earn a bee. And when you have earned 10 bees, you'll receive $35 in free product. I always redeem them at the end of the month, and many of you received an email from me today telling you that your card was full, and deadline is tomorrow night, okay? So if you've got 10 bees, tomorrow night is the deadline for redeeming that. It doesn't expire. You can always redeem it the next month. Thank you, Linda, very much for the compliment. Here's the last one. All right, so this was the first lily that I had watercolored. And this was the second lily. And now this is my third, and I'm totally in love with this lily. This is the lily. All right, so that was our third card, watercolor. Our first card we did stamping. And our middle card, our second card, we use the Stampin Blends. So now, ladies, you know how to color your lilies, all right? All right. Gosh, I can't think of anything else. Does anyone have any questions? I know something that I did want to show you, though. You know these little borders? Here it is in Bermuda Bay. They're just so darn pretty. This is crushed curry. How pretty is that? This is pretty peacock. And this is a retiring in color. Isn't it? Or is that next year? I think maybe we have one more year. I can't even remember right now. And this is shaded spruce. And flirty flamingo right here. Aren't they pretty? Mint macaron. You're welcome, Sonia. Thanks for joining me tonight. And lovely lipstick. Gorgeous grape. And grapefruit grove. All right, aren't they beautiful? All these lovely, lovely borders. Ladies, I'll see you next Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll be looking at the March 3rd Sale-A-Bration releases. All right, so have a great week. Try and be creative if you can. And I'll see you next Wednesday night. Thanks so much. Bye.